Alright guys, so here's what happened. We have another first on the channel, which is probably not going to be visually impressive at all to you, but it's going to be an unboxing of a game because I have it. It came in today. I want to open it, and I need a video for tomorrow. Now, this probably isn't an awkward opening for you, or it definitely could be, but it is for me because I just stared at the camera for 10 seconds, 20 seconds in order to get an audio sample for noise reduction. So hopefully that will work. We'll see. But let's open stuff. Now, you might have already looked at the title. You probably can't see from the box unless you're a discerning individual who knows what this is, because it says League of Legends on that side. This is Mechs versus Minions, which has been around for a while and has always intrigued me, and I've wanted it, and I've wanted it, and I just decided the other day, and it was late at night, I was in the mood to spend money that I didn't need to spend, and I decided to get this box, which doesn't actually fit in a Kallax square, which I learned today as well. So it's the first game I have that is awkwardly on top of the Kallax. But Mechs vs. Minions, if you don't know, is a strategy war game with miniatures, but it's in the universe of League of Legends. And the reason why I got it is because they currently have Wave 3, which has got iterations and rule changes and updates and tweaks and stuff like that. It's currently available on their website. And Mechs vs. Minions is kind of special because Riot Games doesn't need money, and so they're uniquely positioned to offer a game of this size at a ridiculous price. I mean, yes, it's expensive. This was $95. But I think what's in this box that I'm excited to open, what you get for $95, I think is rather remarkable considering what other games of this size charge and typically what is involved in that process with crowdfunding campaigns. Like, this seems like a labor of love from Riot Games because they made a huge game which is actually quite well reviewed, and they aren't gouging the customer, which I like. So let's start opening stuff. I don't think I'm going to timestamp anything yet. Let me know if you want timestamps for an unboxing video where I ramble, and then I can give time. I can just say timestamp. I'm just going to flourish my knife. I'm just going to say timestamps throughout the video, but they're not necessarily going to be directly related to anything. So, timestamp. If I can do this at a decent pace and get done with this video, I might do another unboxing tonight. But for now, let's get started with this. And, you know, the first thing I'm going to say that I'm curious about, and I kind of want you guys to tell me how you feel, is that, for the sake of audio, I'll try to do this more quickly than I normally do. I know that some people are hesitant to... I always hate that in unboxing videos, that people just throw the trash on the ground. As someone who doesn't like trash to be thrown on the ground, it really bothers me. But I kind of understand now the process of, you don't really just want to see me get up and leave and throw away trash. So currently, the floor makes the most sense, which is not really what I like. But I'm going to get over it. Anyways, the question I was going to ask you guys is, I think some people, if they feel like they're hesitant they don't know when or if they're ever going to table a game, they don't want to open it. I feel strongly in the opposite direction. I feel that, check this out. That's a big box. That's a big box, guys. It's a big box. I feel that, just for me, if I open a game, I am immediately more likely to play it, which to me is the purpose of owning these games, is playing them. So I usually open almost everything. I actually have unusually or uncharacteristically more games in shrink than I've ever had. I don't normally have them at all, but because I've gained some of them rapidly between packs and between Gen Con, I have several games still in shrink, which is not like me, and I don't really like it at all because to me it makes it feel like I'm not intent or purposeful about the ownership of them and the intent to play them. So first things first, we got this cool little... Also, another reason that I think I pushed to buy this is that I have already watched Arcane on Netflix, which is an animated TV show based in the League of Legends world. If you have not watched that and you are okay or enjoy animated shows, it is fantastic. It's got a similar art style to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that comic book, graphic novel coming alive on the screen, visual aesthetic. I like it a lot. And the first season was fantastic. I watched it as almost a palate cleanser after the first few episodes of Wheel of Time, and man, was I impressed with that show. So if you haven't watched Arcane, you should. Okay, so this is an office of the Dean and Headmaster of Rumble's intense training of programmable lab suits. It's red attention on it. It says, "Congratulations as the founder, chairman, and dean of Rumble's intense training of programmable lab suits. Allow me to be the first to congratulate you on your acceptance into the inaugural class of this soon-to-be mega-prestigious institution. Within these walls, or if you are a correspondence student within this box, you will find everything you need to become anywhere from the second best to the fifth best mech pilot in all of Runeterra. Aim high, students. However, for your own safety, we must insist that you open the materials provided only when specifically instructed to do so. Any unauthorized access will be dealt with most harshly and will go onto your permanent record. So take the first steps of your path to Embetterment-tude with the Master Mechanic tutorial, and be sure to bring the Master Mechanic field guide and textbook with you at all times. These two will be enough to get started, so do not open any envelopes or, by all that is good in the world, that metal crate. We've had one accident already. Trust me, the time to open these will come soon enough. Once again, welcome, congratulations, and good luck. You'll need it. And sincerely, with great humility, despite all my epic achievements, Rumble, Dean and Headmaster." So Rumble is not somebody that I'm actually familiar with from League of Legends. It's not somebody that appeared in Arcane. I don't know if that's a spoiler. But, so this is all new to me. But I like the flavor text. And then on the back, it's got a goofy to-do list. And it says, start a school, invite students, and the students are listed of Tristana with hearts, Heinerdummer with a disgusted face, Ziggsmeister with a star, Timo, question mark, cross through, he's off battling the void apparently, Kennen, question mark, cross through, ninjas are hard to find, Corky, question mark, not crossed off, and an OK afterwards. So apparently he decided on Corky. Or she. I don't know the gender of Rumble. Learn to how to run a school has not been checked yet, so obviously this whole process has not been vetted. And then why is the power source ticking, question mark? Explosion is imminent, I'm assuming. So cool little flavor text at the beginning of this. Let me know what you guys want in an unboxing, because I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. But yeah, I like opening my games because I think it's going to make me play them more. And I don't like stuff in shrink. I really don't care about resale value. That's not something that I care about because the monetary or collector's or financial aspect or factor or side to the hobby is not something I'm interested in. So, but, this production value is insane. For $95. These are pre-painted, guys. I know a little bit of this game, and I knew enough of this game to know that I wanted it. But there are certain aspects that I did not know about, and man, is it kind of cool seeing all this stuff. So here's Heimerdinger, and I know this is Heimerdinger from the show, but like, look at that. That is a pre-painted miniature, well done as well. Like, this is, I wish all of my miniatures and all of my games were painted to this level of detail. Like, look at all this. This is awesome. And so, I know in the context of the board game community, there are a lot of different spheres of people. And there's going to be a significant portion that are assuming that $95 is a lot for a game. But within the context of Kickstarter games, for example, this year or last year, I spent, it hurts me to say it out loud, I spent, with shipping, over $400 on the Six Siege board game from Mythic Games. Because I love Six Siege. It's one of my favorite video games I've ever played in terms of like multiplayer tactical shooters. And so I wanted it all. And it's the only game I've ever done that, gone all in on. And I spent over $400. That's insane. With that context, spending $95 on a game seems more reasonable. Now with small games like Coup or, other card games that are more accessible, that's a lot of money. But for example, I spent over $400 on Siege, which isn't even here yet, and those miniatures do not come painted. And these miniatures are beautiful. Like, really, really well done artwork. Like, this is an exceptional amount of detail. And, I mean, with shipping, and I, I'm not trying to be a stan or massive, like shill or proponent of Riot Games. I'm talking glowingly about Arcane, and I'm talking up this expensive board game right now. But if this game was on Kickstarter right now, the level of stuff that's in here it'd be expensive. It'd be way more than $95, in my opinion. Unless you had an established studio who just somehow could cut a lot of costs in production, I don't see this being this cheap. So I'm gonna give Riot props. You've got pre-painted minis. I don't even know what these components do. You've got these really, specifically cut, like, gemstone bases. Like, it's apparent that miniatures in this game can slot inside that. And so it seems to be a stand or base of some type. And then in here, which I guess I can kind of show you, because it's got a nice little organizational system, is all of these nestled small miniatures. So those are major miniatures. I assume they're the characters or players that you control, and all of these seem to be more minor mechs or minions that you. So I guess those are the mechs, because all of those people are riding a robotic entity. So those are maybe the mechs, and these are maybe the minions. Mechs versus minions. But I mean, these are metal pieces. And like they have a nice patina or color to them, like the bronzing, and there's small pitting details in the metal as if this was a used older cog. And then the coins here are actually quite nice as well. They've got, different sides on the details, different details on the sides. Forgive me. Here, unnecessary timestamp. And so they've got custom die. This is a regular 6-sided die, just with a unique kind of swirling silver, metallic cast to it or look. And this is a custom D12 with its unique symbols on it. So there's quite a lot of metal, plastic, like a lot of small miniatures. I'm just going to put that right there in front. And then there's a whole nother tray of these with some bigger sculpts as well. And so, I mean, just like This is so many miniatures. Just like this is a somewhat insane amount. Like this is something that you would see from maybe Simon, or I don't even know what all of these are. This is a minion that's got a shield and an axe. But there's actually, the nice thing about this is these aren't even plain. These have a wash to them, which is just crazy. These have a wash to them. They have, coloring, sculpting detail that highlights the small intricate parts of the sculpt. And I mean, golly, this really is, I am genuinely impressed right now with how much stuff they have in this box. Genuinely impressed. Genuinely impressed. Now there are some, I think it's just a matter of orientation. It's obviously gotten jostled in transport, but it doesn't seem like any of it's taken any damage. So I've got a tutorial. I've got command cards. Got the Master Mechanic field guide and textbook. I've got a top secret operation, a top secret, another operation. So it looks like these are like, variable gameplay content that you can unlock and add into the game, or that's separate stuff you can dive into. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's even more in here. This is quite substantial, guys. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Did I do my math right? Yeah. There are 11 of these top secret operations in here. That's quite a bit. That is quite a bit. So I'm gonna slot those back in, and then just small details that most people wouldn't necessarily think about. But for example, all of these envelopes have cards, I'm assuming cards, in the bottom of them. So the base of them is thicker than the top portion. But the tray in here that holds them, I guess I can pull it out and show you, has actually got a shallowed out portion at the bottom of it. It angles down so that you have space for that bulge. Like that is a very specific technical detail in terms of the storage solution that is really impressive. Really impressive. So I'm going to slide those over there. I'm going to put all those back in. I currently, even if the gameplay isn't up to par, it has currently been a privilege to just look at all of this stuff. This is a big box that I'm currently not supposed to open. I think this is the metal crate they were talking about in those opening flavor text. It says do not open here. It's got an axe coming through it. I'm going to assume that this is a big mech or minion that is like a boss at some point, because it's got a, burst axe protruding from the serrated, busted up steel. So I'm going to keep that in there. There's other just beautiful components in here. Like I think this is a plastic sculpt or mold, but it is designed in a way to feel like painted wood. Or maybe it is painted wood. I think it's plastic. But that's like a really ornate and nicely styled, what are these called? Hourglasses. That's beautiful. Got a nice little mine. Cards. Now this I'll probably keep. No, I'm going to open it. Because I want to play this game, so I'm going to open it. I'm going to stick by my rules. Now, I'm not going to go through them like bit by bit by bit. tell me next time, or tell me this time as you watch this, if you're like, no, I want you to go through all of the cards, or at least some of them. But for now, you know, looks like all of these could potentially belong to one deck because they all have the same back and they're slotted into a inset tray with the same gear or cog symbol on the back. And then here we have different boards. I thought that this had 2 layers to it, or that it was a bifold, but this is just a very... Oh, wait. Oh. This is just a very... This is a sleeve. It felt weird. I was wondering what it was. It was a sleeve. So, maybe you know the context of what this means. I'm not going to get it out fully because I want it to stay in there, but that's a cool sleeve, and it's got a nice little... it's a cool board, and it's got a nice sleeve. These are more boards that seem to be the same type that slot in there. I guess I could have used my knife. Whatever. Corky, Heimdinger, Tristana, Ziggs. These are the people that were named in the opening letter, and they match these miniatures. All 4 of them are these 4, and so I'm assuming that means that this is Rumble. I'm assuming this is Rumble then, and those are the 4 that have these mechs. You can see their little name and picture in that top section there. Man, this is a superbly nice box. Production level, organizational level. This really is impressive for $95. I know that sounds like a somewhat absurd thing to say to some people, but I feel that way. I don't think I've had many timestamps. Timestamp. Let's see. Yeah, so that's an entire additional deck of cards that belong to some deck with another matching inset tray. I really appreciate the detail. There's quite a few organizational bags, which maybe they're not big enough for the cards. Maybe you put miniatures in them, but the miniatures all have a slot. So I don't really know what they would go for. These don't need to be punched at all. So these look like the boards that you fight on. This is the modular setup, I'm assuming. I'm assuming. I don't know as much about this game as I think I did starting off when I opened it. But yeah, so that's the modular board. And then this is like a score tracker for minion kills and the doom tracker. There's some inset stuff there. I don't know what those baggies are for. No clue. I'm going to put that back. Put that back. I'm going to put all this back, guys. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is a really nice setup. I'm impressed. And then let's get this guy back in there. Will it all fit back the way it came? So, I want to know from you guys, have you played... That one didn't have anything on it. Have you played Mechs vs. Minions? And, if you have, tell me what you think of it. Let me know. I'm curious as to your thoughts, because it seemed instinctively like a game I would really enjoy. So... I'm looking forward to the opportunity to play it, and hopefully not have spent my money carelessly. Maybe I did, but you know what? Even the lid, and I think this is, I don't know if wave 1 and 2 and 3 and all that, I don't know how different they are in terms of the storage solution, but this feels like game trays level ingenuity and cleverness in how everything works. So I'm really pleased with this. This is Mechs versus Minions from Riot Games. They recently did Tellstones, which I purchased and reviewed back when I did Game Tyrant. It was okay. I think I gave it away. Maybe I sold it. I think I sold it. But was not enough of a thing for me to keep. But this, wow. 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 What is that? What is that from? Wow. Christopher Walken. That's from Christopher Walken. Guys, I'm excited. I'm excited. That was my first unboxing I've ever done on camera. Maybe it was crappy. Almost certainly it was crappy. Maybe my head wasn't even in view at the end there. Almost certainly was crappy. But see, here's the cool part about opening up the boxes and not leaving them in shrink. This energized me and made me excited to play it. Yes, it looks like a lot. That is somewhat intimidating in its own right. However, there's so much cool stuff in here. And I think for $95, in terms of what other board games and what I've spent on other board games. For example, I have now spent on Dune Imperium, which is right there because I did the game I got series with it, and then I also did the Nice Bits video with it for the upgrade. I've spent as much on Dune as I have on this. And the production level and what you get in terms of the quality of the components and everything and the art style and the visuals and the world building in this is definitely a better bang for your buck than Dune. Now, I mean, granted, I love Dune. I'm not upset about what I spent on that. But in terms of dropping $95 on a game, which would leave some people hesitating, that's a lot for your money. That's impressive. That's impressive. And that's all I need right now. I'm gonna be done with this video. Have a timestamp. Ooh, wait. I actually do need a thumbnail though. I should get that back. I'm gonna get this back out. So pretend I did this in smooth, appropriate fashion. I'm going to have to open up this box again. I think I'm going to get these guys out, because these guys are delightful looking. I'm going to get Heimerdinger, and I think this guy's name was Ziggs. So that should be a good enough thumbnail. Like, whoa. Really, that was worth it just to look at those again. Man, this is a big box. Alright. I'm excited. I think that's good. Okay. Thumbnail. Timestamp. Knife. Unboxing.